Hello everybody, I'm Storm here. Welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV Online Endwalker. In the last episode, we finished up with the final wing of the Pandemonium raid with the kind of wrap-up quests and everything to kind of finish that off. And so that completes all of the major story content that was added in 6.4. There's a bunch of other things that were added in, but that's going to be pretty much all of the the main story quest and the raid. There's a few other kind of side quest lines and things, but we'll probably leave those for you to play on your own. And so I've been trying to think of some things that we could do as we wait for the next patch to come out. And there were a couple of things that came to mind, and one of them is that I have not yet done the optional dungeons that were added in Endwalker. And so we'll go ahead and run through those and get that knocked out. So we're done kind of relaxing here on the island sanctuary. So let's go ahead and teleport on over to, actually, I think, yep, Old Charlia. That's where we're heading. And that's where my return point is. And we're gonna play around today on Sage, I think. Healer. Alright. And the first one we're going to work on is this panic-stricken Loporrit right here. This panic-stricken Loporrit is desperate for the aid of an able-bodied adventurer. Very well. Ayame, oh, thank goodness you're here. It's absolutely terrible, awful, an emergency of cataclysmic proportions. What is it? I don't know exactly. They didn't say, but it didn't sound... But doesn't it sound simply dreadful? Perhaps. What I do know is Building Way has been asking after you. He said if I happen to see you, I should tell you to hurry over to Kydonia Knolls with all haste. Well, what are you standing around here for? Away with you. Alright, we need to go talk to Building Way on Mare Lamentorum over here at Kydonia Knolls. Very well. Sounds like something absolutely awful is happening. So, let's go find out what it is. And we are approaching the location here now, and they've carved a giant face into the moon because, why not? All right, Building Way, what's up? You're here, and not a moment too soon. Sorry to call you here so abruptly, but you were the first person who came to mind that might be able to help. You recall the domiciles you were planning to build for the evacuation? Yes. I don't mean to brag, but they were immaculate. Perfectly, positively perfect. Except, of course, for the ever so small oversight of being 3 times larger than necessary. At least, that's what I believed before speaking with Eorzea. I learned a lot from him about what we should and shouldn't make of the domiciles, and so I began making changes. Small at first, but they soon became much bigger, more drastic. By the end, I'd swear I was drawing up wholly new plans by the minute. But I was too ambitious. The myriad plans I dreamt up overwhelmed our automated construction machine, the Big Cheese. Even as we speak, it's burrowing underground with reckless abandon. If we don't stop it, the domiciles will be the least of our problems. The entire moon is likely to end up looking like a truckle of hole-filled cheese. Delectable? Delectable? Perhaps, but utterly unfit for habitation. We tried going after it ourselves, but the survey team never made it past the security systems down there. At least, I don't think so. They've yet to return and aren't answering our communications. I'd rather not resort to brute force, but I can think of no other way, and no other person to see the deed done. Would you be willing to go down there and stop the Big Cheese? Sure thing. We'll go smash a machine. Why not? Thank you. Thank you. Head down to Smileton, and I'll see that you're let in. So Smileton is now accessible. These were the domiciles that they were going to be building to inhabit. For the people of Eorzea to inhabit. That's what I was trying to say. So, now we have to go in there with people. Smileton was to be a paradise for the people of Eorzea, a refuge where every need is met, its inhabitants content and happy for all their days. But what is happiness? In pursuit of an answer, the Loperids created the Big Cheese, designed to make manifest all they might need and more to fulfill the needs of their passengers to be. They were eager to please, perhaps too eager, and their plans became more fickle, each new idea a betrayal of the last. The Big Cheese now burrows toward the center of the moon, a labyrinth of contradiction left in its wake. If left unchecked, its wanton pursuit of happiness may very well spell the end of the moon. Very well. Let's go. And I didn't actually click the join button. Alright, I was kind of hoping that was going to pop right away, but I shall wait. Alright, we are ready to go. So let's go. I gotta do something real quick. Oh, it doesn't let me do it right now. Oop. There we go. Turn the music up a little bit. Good one. And I love the Escher-esque quality of this dungeon. Alright. Let's see if I remember how to play Sage correctly. Those goofy lunatenders. Keep that tank alive. Alright, and there's our first boss, the face. And that's what it's literally called, is face. Alright, now, we gotta pay attention to what colors we get hit by. So that one's going to be blue. And we need to be hit by the opposite color again. So that one's going to be red. I'm fine where I'm at. Alright, everything's flipping around. Alright, we got hit by red before, so we need to get hit by blue. We're gonna get knocked backwards, that's not a problem. Alright, we need to get hit by red. Piece of cake, and I don't need any of the loot, so we're gonna pass. Ugh. It's always a little disorienting when that comes in. More Rubik's Cube action. Alright, second boss. The Frameworker. Ooh, he's pointing that way. Okay, so he points in the direction that he's going to land the AoE. Synthesizing replicants. All right, now we need to be over here. Alright, where are they going to put these? Okay, you're going to be pointing that direction. You're going to be pointing that direction. So that means we need to be over here. That one's pointing that way, and that one is pointing that way. But they're not going to get a chance to do anything because we wrecked it. And there's the giant constructor robot that we need to deal with. Oh. More loot we don't need. The samurai looks a little banged up. Oh, I hit the wrong person with that. All right. Oh, of course, we started the fight. Warning, you've entered the killing zone. Please stand by for bomb detonation. Smile Maker, the big cheese. Perhaps you should wait for your healer to get through the cutscene. Alright, it's laying mines. No, they have arrow indicators indicating how far those bombs are going to move. So that's going to move all the way to the end. More bombs. Alright, I'm going to back off here. Oh, I forgot to pay attention to that. Is it doing a half room? Not at the moment. Yeah, we want to be on the left side. And we're done. And that little issue has been dealt with. Alright, we'll give a combination of whoever's left, and pass on the loot so you can have it. And we'll head out of here. Alright. Let's let Building Away know the good news. I guess. You're back. What happened to the big cheese? I blew it up. I do what I do. It's gone? I suppose it's a mite better than the alternative. And you say the survey team is safe? Oh, thank heavens. Smelton was meant to be a paradise, and the big cheese, its architect, was designed to learn what it is that makes people happy and make manifest whatever we could dream up, no matter how seemingly impossible. I've been unduly fickle. Every new plan contradicted the last. I fear my indecisiveness overloaded the big cheese, and it lost sight of what true happiness is. All I wanted was to make the people of Eorzea happy and look upon their smiling faces. Have you considered visiting residential areas on Eorzea for inspiration? A practical suggestion. Now there's an idea. I mean, sure, Eorzea has been incredibly helpful with his advice. Actually seeing how people live would surely be more informative than simply hearing about it. Now that the final days have been averted, there's no longer a need to rush. I'll be sure to bear that in mind, so nothing like this happens again. Perhaps I'll start with something simple, like furniture. Oh, and I can design a new automated system to build them. I'll call it the bigger cheese. Here we go again. Alright, well, that's all taken care of. Nice and easy. Now, there's one other that we need to do. Let's go ahead and head back to Old Charlian. And that should be over here somewhere. Yeah, this is that one, where no Loperit has gone before. It's Jamming Way. Jamming Way is in need of your brains and brawn. Mostly the latter. Ayame. You are Ayame, yes? Oh, thank you ever so much for coming. In truth, I've been searching all over for you. You see, there's a most pressing matter for which I could use your wisdom and expertise. Ah. Okay then. Oh, but we haven't actually been introduced yet, are we? The name is Jammingway, and I had the honor of serving as the communications officer aboard the Ragnarok. So, anyhow, the matter I spoke of, it began the other day when my curiosity got the better of me, and I decided to send a reconnaissance probe to Ultima Thule to investigate the environs. Imagine my surprise when my robotic friend responded just a short while ago with a most urgent and dire distress signal. A distress signal from Ultima Thule? Now, even after you and your companions mercifully put an end to the threat of the final days? Surely this intrigues and worries you as much as it does me. I was just about to venture there to investigate further, but there's no telling what dangers might await, and I am a communications officer, not an adventurer. Please join me at Thalmazane so I may boldly go where you have gone before. Alright, let's head over there then. Alright, where are we headed? This way. And we'll lose our flight right there. Alright, where are you? There. Oh man, I knew you'd come. Clearly, we have inquiring minds and a crushing need to be of use in common. Anyway, I am pleased to report that the Ragnarok has already been prepared for our journey. A journey that, fortunately, will not require the massive quantities of ether that were necessary for our previous voyage beyond the stars. Convenient. How can this be, you wonder? Else if I know, whether it is a parting gift from Mother or perhaps the manifestation of Meteon's true desire, this vessel is strongly connected to Ultima Thule. So strongly, in fact, that it somehow simultaneously exists in both locations, here in Labyrinthos and out of the edge of the universe. Funny thing that. Is this making more sense to you now? No? Well, it matters little. What matters is that we get to the other side and see what's troubling my dearest probe. On that note, let us be off. You know, it couldn't be that, you know, didn't bother removing the assets after completing the missions or anything. See? There it is. Still there. Alright, Jammingway. See? The Ragnarok exists here as surely as it did, and does, back in Labyrinthos. With the vessel forming a conduit of sorts, we may easily teleport between the two locations. Convenient, wouldn't you say? Precisely because the locations are so indelibly connected to each other, however, I fear that whatever has triggered my probe's distress signal has the potential to threaten Labyrinthos as well, and so I would investigate without delay. Let's see now. It would seem the distress signal is coming from base Omicron, not far from here. Let us hope my automaton friend can enlighten us further as to the situation. Alright, base Omicron. Easy enough. Well, there's the supporter. And N7000. Reading database. Organic life form identified as Yatsurugi, Ayame. Initiating standard greeting protocol. Hail, Ayame. Alright, jamming. Ah, Ayame, this is my precious reconnaissance automaton, and yet it would appear this good-for-nothing bucket of bolts has gotten its oily paws all over it. Pray stand by for a moment while I give it a good talking to. You miserable sack of sockets, what in the heaven's name do you think you're doing with my oh so valuable automaton? Completing logic circuits. N7000 categorically denies the accusations of this Eorzea organism. An advanced lifeform such as N7000 has no need for such outdated technology. On the contrary, this unit took pity on this makeshift machine and the primitive society which created it, and deigned to issue a warning. Primitive? Outdated? I'll show you how. I'll show you primitive and outdated. You. Wait. What is this warning you speak of? Initiating simplification. To explain in imprecise terms that your crude mind might comprehend, sometime after the organic life form known as Ayame here came in contact with M017, the Omicrons noticed an irregularity. Specifically, a powerful burst of energy from the remnants of a lost world. No doubt a reaction to Ayame and her companions defeating the Endsinger. Fortunately, the energy wave itself caused no appreciable damage. Less fortunately, it housed within it an encoded message from the strategic matrix known as STIGMA 1. The message contained a single word, a single command: live. That seems innocent enough. Whatever is the problem? This message reached the sensors of STIGMA 4, a logistics matrix that has long lain dormant. Shocked back to life at the behest of its fellow intelligence, it has resumed its duties in constructing weapons of mass destruction. Furthermore, there is a statistical probability of 99% that it will launch a full-scale assault on your eminently detectable home planet as soon as production is complete. Can't produce weapons if you're exploded. This unit projects that this would be less than ideal. STIGMA 4's production capabilities are necessary to ensure that the Omicron's existence is maintained in perpetuity. Disabling or destroying it is incompatible with the command issued by STIGMA 1. Is there no way we might simply change its mind? If STIGMA 4 is convinced that war is essential to its survival, could we not persuade it that an unprovoked offensive might threaten its existence even more? The grubby organic lifeform's proposition has merit. As a military information and operations specialist, this unit does possess the capability to rewrite the memory banks of other artificial intelligences. If this unit were to hack STIGMA 4's neural core and implant the memory that such an offensive once led not to victory, but to failure and near eradication, it must logically conclude that preemptive attack is ill-advised. To accomplish this unit will access STIGMA 4 and use a dimensional manipulator to generate a virtual environment simulating its memories of war. You must traverse the environment and nullify STIGMA 4's expectations of victory. That sounds simple and not at all likely to get us killed. What do you say, Ayame? It can't be any tougher than Omega, right? Right? Commencing Strategic Operations Protocol. All participants in the mission, please accompany this unit to the access point at once. Certainly can't be tougher than Omega. Alright. Where are we at? Looks like we angered something. Wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to do anything. Alright, jamming way. I can't say I completely understand what's going on here, but at least it's progress, yes? Alright, N7000, what's up? From this access point, it will be possible for this unit to establish a communications interface with STIGMA 4's neural network. You may be interested to know that this is the This is the first time this unit has been able to perform its intended function since the day it was commissioned. This unit is honored and will do its utmost to maximize the probability of success. Are you saying that you've never actually done this before? You really had me going with your advanced intelligence talk, but at least my probe had work experience. The flea-ridden lifeform's evaluation is inaccurate. This unit is equipped with dynamic functionality. It simply has not encountered technology formidable enough to require its full capabilities before. More significantly, this unit has succeeded in establishing the interface with Stigma 4. All that remains for you to enter the simulation and use whatever puny weapons at your disposal to destroy the core that lies within. That should see the Matrix sufficiently traumatized. This unit will remain in this physical space to ensure the communication interface remains stable as you carry out the operation. And do take care. Though the environment is virtual, any pain you suffer within will feel quite real. Alright, Stigma Dreamscape is now accessible. Let's hit it. And we go. Another great piece of music. That's awfully familiar. Burn them down. As part of the faction favoring subjugation of other stars, it created units for the upcoming invasion. Alert, your presence has been detected. Sentinel units approaching current coordinates. Alright. Now approaching command sector, accessing administrative memory to disable security system. Alright, our first boss. Hey, that looks awfully familiar. Stigma 4 detected, eliminate the unit guarding it, and destroy its core. Proto-Omega. Oop. Guided missile. Alright, I am marked with one of these things. Just drag it around until it explodes. There we go. Teleportation construct. This memory region reflects the people's first encounter with another star, the subjugation of Gordona. The objective was to obtain the rich mineral resources of the Gordonian asteroid belt by any means necessary. And, configuring data stream, neural pathway connected. Alright, looks like the tank needs AFK for a moment. Alright, tank's back. Alright, so this should be our second boss. The Lambda unit. Before you was produced in Gordona with local materials, as became our standard operating protocol. This seems to be all over the place. And actually, we need to be over here, because once it finishes, it's going to do that. But we're tearing through it pretty quick. That's not the way you handle that. But whatever, it's fine. Singapore has retreated into the next memory region as unit requests you pursue. As this unit projected, this memories of our conflict on the Dragon Star. The Dragon's assault has created a breach in the barrier. Infiltrate the facility. Yeah, the Dragons. The Omicron base. The Dragons were our strongest enemy, and it was through their capture and study that Stigma 4 learned the principles of adaptive evolution. These principles were used to design the systems of the Omega model, first deployed in its unfinished state. And this is just an Omega frame. We don't need any of that. Access to Stigma 4 is perceived self-confirmed. Destroy this core to overwrite its expectation of victory. Siege Matrix, Sigma 4. Hey, and they waited for me. Excellent. Additional data desired, transferring Omega unit to present coordinates. Uh-oh. Probably a good idea to knock out this Omega frame. Oh, Hybrid Dragon. Need to get over here. Because otherwise it'll do that. And that dragon is also self-destructing. Oh, get away from that, get away from that. Alright, now when we get inside... away from that one. Oh, right, there's a forced march. Ah, right. And it's down. All right, well, let's get out of here. All right, N7000, we accomplished our task, and Stigma 4 is here. Awaiting orders. Mm-hmm. Operation status success. Stigma 4 has abandoned its military offensive. N7000 submits new orders to Stigma 4. Stigma 4 is instructed to immediately cease production of all weapons and attack units and initiate production of diplomatic hologram units. Analysis of memory data complete. Further pursuit of planned invasion is calculated to have a 99.999924634% probability of resulting in utter annihilation. N7000's orders are deemed strategically and logistically sound, reconfiguring production infrastructure. Take that, glowing eyeball. Oh. My dearest N7000, I apologize for those times I called you a sack of bolts, while you're the most impressive military information and operations unit I've ever met. This unit expresses its gratitude to the hero Ayame and the soft-looking organic life form. This unit could not have succeeded without your help. This also marks the completion of this unit's duties. With the invasion halted indefinitely, there remains no military operation or conflict requiring this unit's function, preparing to shut down and enter permanent energy-saving hibernation. Shut down? What nonsense is this? Did you not receive an order to live just a short time ago? Eternal sleep doesn't sound like living to me. Come on, Ayame. Say something and set this bolt head straight, won't you? Why not put your abilities to work for peace? He's right. You were told to live, and live is what you'll do. If you don't have a war to wage anymore, you can use your talents to bring in a new future of peace and hope. But what are the appropriate protocols? This unit possesses little practical experience in peacetime operations. You can access Stigma 4, can you not? Interfacing with its memory banks, you might be able to, say, find knowledge of lost civilizations. Civilizations that you might simulate for the edification of those who live now. Indeed, such a task will be within this unit's capabilities. But what about when that task is complete? Without an ongoing mission, sooner or later, this unit is bound to lose its purpose. What happens then? Well, let's see now. I suppose you could always open a cafe. Back in Old Charlian, there's a fine establishment called The Last Stand. People gather there to share food, drink, company, and reasons to meet again. Ayame delivered her world from the brink of despair and helped the people dream of a brighter future once more. What if we could do the same for the other civilizations Meteon found? His unit finds the furry lifeform suggestion difficult to process. And yet, realizing accurate simulations of myriad civilizations, including those the Omicrons have not encountered, would undoubtedly challenge this unit to the fullest. It is a reason to remain active for the foreseeable future. Precisely. See? I knew I was onto something there. Speaking of here, Ayame, do you know of anywhere nearby that could use a good cafe? There's an empty structure that might be suited for it in the necropolis. Well, why didn't you say so sooner? Alright, well, let's head over there. Yep, the empty restaurant at the end of the universe, you might say. Oh, would you look at that? A spacious counter, outdoor seating, and a fine layer of homey gray dust. Best of all is the view of that massive dead star that Meteon was lurking in for ages, looming ominously overhead. People are going to love this. Think about it. It's poetic. The very place where hope was nearly extinguished forevermore, now a beacon of it. This unit has not fully processed the concept of a cafe, but will stimulate elements of lost civilizations as its ongoing mission. That'll be just fine, N7000. You focus on what you do best and leave the rest to me. I'll have you know that I learned a thing or two about preparing and serving victuals and beverages in my time at the Last Stand. Not to mention that I come up with the perfect name for a new establishment. The Last Dregs. An inspiring moniker, wouldn't you say? This unit is unable to process this statement. It must defer to furry life form's judgment. The furry life form's judgment. I'll take that as a yes. Now, we had best get to work. There are many preparations to be made before we're ready to open for business. You're more than welcome anytime, though, Ayame. Oh, and please tell the other Loporrits I'm not dead. No, you're just literally opening a restaurant at the end of the universe, because why not? Now, in order to continue on with his quests, we need to have a Disciple of the Land job at level probably 80? Yeah, 80. Which I do not have on this character, so we won't be able to do that. Alright, but I think that wraps things up here. And then I'll have to make some decisions about what I'm going to do next. And we'll see. But for now, we'll stop here. So I hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment, and I will see you next time.